You may ask yourself, what has this to do with cooking for one? The issue, of course, is economy more than anything here now. The one element in cooking for one is grocery stores often will offer 2-for-1 pricing or a family pack. And then there's places like big box stores. There are large quantities of products are quite reasonable when you think about a single serving. So this is just over 6 pounds, 3,000 grams. So the burgers I cook are 170 grams of raw meat. They cook down to about 150. Makes a nice patty. So the first thing I'll do is divide this up into individual patties. Simple enough. Simply tear out the current weight. And select about 170 grams of meat. I'll put it in a little ball here so I can set it aside comfortably. Zero it out again. So, not enough for another burger. 68 grams there. I've got 17 patties waiting to be formed over here. And so the thing to do is just simply divide that into small portions and add it to each one of the patties. So you just kind of form it up. So if I were to add the same amount to each one of the patties, I need to know how much. About 4 grams, I believe, would be about enough. So the objective is we need these all about the same weight so that I can easily cook them and make sure that they're all done about to the same internal temperature. These will get cooked, of course, over a grill, and while cooking I will measure each one to be sure that they're at the temperature that I'd like. In my case, about 135 at the grill, and it will heat sink, soak up the rest of its heat to get to about 140 or so, which seems to be a nice temperature, and it will remain pretty moist. Once they're cooked, they'll be immediately vacuum packed while still warm in the refrigerator to cool down, and then put into the freezer. There are a number of ways to season these. You can get some kind of a prepared seasoning. Sometimes work just fine. In my case, I've enjoyed this product, and I'm going to be using it for my seasoning for each of these. I'll just prepare a container. And then I'll take a measured amount. This is 1/4 teaspoon, and I'll put 1/4 teaspoon on each side. Sprinkle it. So now we're to the forming step, and the idea here is I'd like to be as consistent as possible. If you were to go to Wendy's, you'd end up with square patties. Most everybody else has round ones. I think today I'll be just making some round ones. Normally I make the square ones when I'm going to be using them mostly on a nice square roll that I get from our local big box store. Get a dozen of those, wrap them up, double wrap them, put them in the freezer for later, and this will shrink down to just the right size to fit to the borders or boundaries of the roll. So we now have to form them, and I want to do this as easily as possible. So the first thing I'll do is take a bit of wrap, put it down. So now we need season these. So I'd like to do one side, season one side at a time. So we'll take our 1/4 teaspoon, sprinkle it. And then now we have to press that to make a nice form. Well, the simplest way to do this is to put a bit of wrap over it. Now we have it kind of contained, and when it expands out to the edge, it will fit nicely. So I can feel that it's nice and evenly done all the way around. And normally I'll just kind of press the middle a little, so the middle is just a little thinner than the outside edges. So I get to take the top off. Because we have to still season the top. Sprinkle a little bit on it. And we've done one patty. I'll take the previous top, put that down on the bottom, season this. So now we have a divider between each of the two patties. I turn the plastic a little sideways so it's kind of at an angle so I can find the corner a little easier. There you go. Forgot a step. So they're all set, ready to hit the grill. And if you can make out the way they're dished there in the middle, because after stacking them all, that accumulated bit of thinness in the middle will accumulate over time. So we'll just take and put them in the refrigerator and wait for the grill time. Hey Siri, set timer 3 minutes.
Okay, 3 minutes and counting.
Hey Siri, set timer 3 minutes.
Okay, 3 minutes and counting.
So these bags are just about the right size for one burger. This one burger is a serving.